kind of results did you achieve in the academy, man?
I was stripping quick.
Yeah.
I started seeing it coming off my belly, first of all. I was getting stronger very quickly. I was getting massively quick results. I was seeing my friends, on a weekly basis. They were going down. Like the weight's flying off.
I was surprised how quickly the weight went in the end. The belly fat, stubborn belly fat that's been there years and years, and literally it just, disappeared. It melted away. The abs that I got, the spot on, absolutely spot on. And then starting building muscle. So I was building muscle at the same time as I was losing weight.
Knowledge of different working out styles and sets, like the 8 fail. I really like that, and I'm still using that right now. And then the conditioning, the GVT, just all that different knowledge has definitely helped me push my strength.
Tell us about the results, man.
I definitely lost a lot of body fat. I lost a lot of my gut, that that visceral fat right there. So been definitely telling my body it's definitely getting more toned and defined. Nutrition. I mean, everyone knows, or most people know that, it's like what 20 to 30% is actually in the gym work, and the rest of it's nutrition.
To build like muscle as in a bodybuilder, I just want to be a bit more leaner than I am.
And that's thanks for mentioning that, actually, because when people see my photos, I think they're going to end up looking like me, right? So anything you were skeptical about, man, before joining? Anything you're worried about before joining?
Anybody, probably everybody, is always going to say something dealing with money. Something always going to be something dealing with a cost. You know what I mean? So, and what I found is you're going to spend the money one way or another. So you can either spend the money and get healthy and get in the best shape of your life, or you can spend it on doctor bills. So it's like, which one do you want to go with? Either get healthy or spend it on doctor bills. You know what I'm saying? And the most important thing for me in my life, besides my health, is my quality of life.
Gained weight up to 295, my heaviest. And then I decided I wanted to change because I was also diabetic, so I was on insulin, metformin pills, also on mental health pills. So I was on all these medications, and program I stopped all of my medications. I saw my diabetic specialist today, and she was stunned with my sugar results for the past 3 months, and she's okay with me being off my meds. So my goal was to hit 20, and I hit 220 in, I think, the 14th week of the program. So I guess it was total weight loss 75 pounds.
Well, I was going to the gym, and I basically wasn't getting really any results. I go to the gym, 5, maybe 6 times a week, and just no result me. And I felt like I would get some results with your program.
Was there anything you were skeptical about, Dino? Anything you may be worried about?
I'm a commercial banker, so we're inundated by the bank with scams and, whether it be in person or on web. So I was skeptical about that. But you come across really well, and I felt comfortable enough to give it a try.
What kind of results did you achieve in the academy?
Definitely more body definition and weight loss, and just have a more positive image of myself, not only physically but mentally. I think getting in shape and whatever helps you probably more mentally than physically. It was great for me. It really was, and the physical compliments have been coming like crazy. I've dropped at a minimum of 25 pounds. The person who really wants to take their exercising, their whatever weight reduction, want to improve their body image just to the next level.
Yeah, cool.
I would say awesome. I would definitely recommend the plan.
I'm 45 years old, and my background is really more so running and cardio. And I came to Andre to kind of understand what it takes to build muscle on my upper body. I run ultra marathons and we do some triathlons, but we're mainly cardio. And so goals that you get when you're putting in a lot of miles. You have tendencies to overdo it. And what I found was I didn't have any of that going into my last 50 miler. So really impressed by the way, your coaching has helped me in that. They've definitely grown in my arms, and, my wife, thanks you too. So
I love that.
and even, with all the running, that I do, I've never really seen the definition in my legs, and I can see a.
What was the best piece of advice you think in the whole program?
The introduction to keto was pretty beneficial, but I think the workout sets are what really I think I value the most, because it's that structure that helps you with a person to develop that.
Why did you actually join the academy then?
I needed results. Also, the main thing was keto diet. My energy levels like over the roof. Chest, slightly, then the shoulders, legs, pretty much everywhere.
What do you think is the best bit of the program or the best part of the program?
Everything. Accountability is good, so that is helps as well. Pushes even more.
Yeah.
Food, like nutrition and food and everything was like that's new level for me. Good. And it was like whoa, because I've seen about keto diets and everything, but never implemented.
Is there anyone that you recommend for this program, or any type of person?
It's dedication. You have to just and discipline. You just get up and do it. No one's gonna do it for you. You need to be accountable for yourself. You just get up, lift your and just go and do it.
I'm Neil. I'm 54. I'm from a town called Middlesbrough, and I'm an offshore worker. I'm a rigger offshore. At the time, I've always trained, and I was in a pretty decent place, but I was at the point where I was just stagnating a bit. I needed more knowledge to build a better body.
I remember that you were actually getting coaching at the time still, right?
That's right. I was getting coaching at the time, and it was going okay, but I just needed that little bit more knowledge, that little bit more motivation to take me to the next stage, really. For the last 16 weeks, I realised I made a good decision.
Something or anything you were skeptical about before joining?
After reading about the diet plan and what was in it, I didn't realise I could eat so much of what I actually liked. I wasn't in the kitchen all the time like I used to be. Because I wasn't eating the carbs, I didn't realise how much inflammation carbs caused. And after probably about 3 weeks, I realised that my joints weren't aching like they used to. Because obviously there wasn't hardly any inflammation there with the keto diet. Once I realised that the aches and pains weren't there, it was great. Anything that needed tweaking or something that you didn't quite understand, because the calls were weekly, it was great to get on a call and ask everything you needed to ask, just to make sure you're doing everything right.
We're always communicating during the week, aren't we, as well?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
For a particular type of person that you would recommend for this program, Neil?
I'd recommend pretty much anybody, no matter what size, weight, and if they're looking to lose a bit of weight, or if they're looking to put on muscle, or they're looking just to become a little bit trimmer, recommend it, because the diet can be tweaked to whatever they're looking for, and also you've got plenty of dimensions towards your different training schedules and things like that, where you could put them towards. So yeah, I recommend anybody in any age.
For 21 years, I was a firefighter paramedic. I'm also a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo. Used to be very active in tournaments and that sort of thing. Retired from the fire service about 11 years ago. And for the last 5.5 years, I've been helping people optimize their way their body works internally to be healthier. Things slide as far as the fitness went. And one of the things that I decided was that I wanted to start looking as good as I felt. So that's one of the things I told you up front, that was my main goal, was because It's one thing to be healthy, but if you don't look healthy, people aren't going to realize that you really are as healthy as you are.
So you're a prime example for anyone in their 60s today.
We had met on Facebook and talked a little bit, had a couple of introduction interview type things, and that's kind of what sold on you was the fact that we took the time to get to know each other a little bit. It wasn't just a, hey, here I am, send me some money, I'll get you in shape. It was, there are other guys out there doing that I ran across online, and they kind of turned me off. But and also the fact that you weren't intimidated by what I do. People in the industry, they ask me what I do, and when I tell them, that they kind of ghost me, they're gone. So, but you didn't do that. You're confident enough to know that what you were doing was going to be what I needed, and you weren't intimidated by it. So I appreciated that.
Anything that you're kind of skeptical about before joining?
Yeah, well, it was the part, and the fact that there's so many scams out there. And again, I appreciate the fact that you took the time to meet with me 2 or 3 times before we actually decided to start working together, and you made it more comfortable.
I'm glad I made you comfortable, and I'm glad we got that trust nice and early, right? It's really important. What specific results did you achieve, man, in the program?
Well, my goal was to get down to 205 pounds, which would be losing about 17 kilos or so. And we surpassed that, so I had to set new goals. Leaning forward, just slouching, just wasn't looking good. And since we started working, that's corrected. I mean, that's a definite bonus. I was actually taller at my annual physical this year than I was last year, so that was pretty cool. Anybody who wants to get the most out of their workouts, because that was one of the things we talked about too, is the fact that I was spending so much time in the gym to get the results I was getting before, and you were able to give me something more efficient to cut down on the time, but still get more benefit than I was getting on my own. So people that want to optimize the way they're looking, for sure, most benefit from their time invested.
Out in Ohio?
47 years old, living in Cleveland. I work from home, so a lot of my days are just spent sitting around and raising 5 kids at almost 50 years old. When I had come across you on, I believe it was Instagram, I had a back injury for like maybe the last 15 years. Decided to get taken care of, got back surgery, and I found myself after a year of the surgery and letting it heal, a lot of laying around, eating whatever I wanted. And, I'd get dressed in the morning when this all hit and just see that my shirts didn't fit. I was completely out of shape. I'd climb stairs, be out of breath, and just really didn't like where I was after trying to fix myself. I was really uncomfortable, just how my body felt health-wise. I felt like I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I felt. There's one thing I could tell anybody, it would be, even though you're used to doing something and you've done it for a long time, you don't know as well as somebody that does it professionally. So
is there anything you were skeptical about before joining? Anything that might have stopped you from starting?
I didn't want to injure myself anymore. I had bad shoulders and a bad back and didn't know if it was worth getting in shape and maybe hurting myself again. The program has kind of rehabbed a lot of pain away.
Definitely. So tell us a little bit about the results you achieved.
Well, I dropped a lot of weight. I went from seeing a round, tummy to being able to actually see some abs, and muscle definition is coming around.
Proper abs, by the way, guys. He's ripped. You wait till you see his pics.
I know it hasn't been that long, but in the short time, the few months I've been with you, it's been a really big transformation.
And you would say the shoulder and the back have improved since we've started, do you think?
100%. I used to not be able to sleep on my right shoulder. Now I can. My back feels great.
Fantastic. And what do you think was the best piece of advice throughout the whole program?
I'd say it's twofold. Number one, I was skeptical about keto. But when you put me on the program, I'm at a point now where when I'm not on it, I feel bad and want to be on it. So the nutrition was huge. And then on top of that, like I said earlier, I would have done the same workouts I always did growing up and probably just maintained. But your programming is and just really awesome.
Thanks, man.
Works you in a way that you're not used to.
Absolutely. One you would recommend for the
I would say anybody that's kind of in my situation where you're older and you think you know everything that you did growing up when you used to be in shape.
A 58-year-old male who's retired from the Royal Navy. Have a history of lots of sport, rugby, field gun, gymnastics, athletics, and now I'm retired. It's sort of not dried up, but been sat at a desk more often than a lot of sports. So my weight rocketed to just over 16 stone. I got a beer belly. My physique had deteriorated to the extent where I thought I needed to do something about it. Basically, I saw a photograph of myself, which not exaggerated. It just made it blatantly clear that I had a beer belly, my physique had gone, and yeah, I didn't like what I saw, basically.
Was there anything you were skeptical about before joining?
You lose your weight to start with, and then you go back to your old habits and whatever. So I just didn't want that to happen to me, basically.
What kind of specific results did you achieve in the academy?
Back into the gym and doing properly structured routines and sticking. I saw my body shape change quite quickly, and actually the fat from around the waistline went away quite, not quickly but steadily, to the fact I could get, I fitted more comfortably in the clothes I had, and I obviously looked better. The routine now of making time to go to the gym rather than go, I can't be bothered, or I haven't got time. I'm now in a routine where going to the gym is normal now, rather than have to make a special effort.
Do you think is the best piece of advice that you got in the program, buddy?
It's a broad range, how the supplements. I've never been one for taking supplements, but actually, when you do it in a proper way, rather than the way you've sort of explained why you do them, rather than just take them for the sake of taking them.
Where were you when you first started the program?
I was actually only pushing 7 stone. I was very, very lightweight. Went through a very stressful part of my life, and I lost a significant amount of weight, lost self-confidence, everything really. So I was in a bad shape, bad place. I did see you on Instagram. I saw you over Facebook and stuff like that. How I looked at some of your videos and some of the conversations, what people were talking about you. So I did actually do a little bit of research. I never told you that. Online coaching, I genuinely thought, how's it going to work? And it works. It really does. Everything what you laid out, it is absolutely goddamn idiot proof. It really is. I'm not very technical, but if I can follow it, anyone can.
We have the accountability calls. We have full accountability. We have the full app access. Like you said, everything's very easy to use and follow. Right?
We can actually contact you, which was one of the biggest points for me.
I just did a post just a second ago about online and PT, and obviously I stand by all of that. It's truly a much better approach, as you know. Cuddy, what kind of results did you achieve in the academy, and was there anything you were surprised about, buddy?
I was very shocked how quickly, I was very slender, very skinny, but I still had which didn't make any sense whatsoever. The amount of weight I gained. We weren't trying to strip fat off me, we were trying to bulk me, which was a totally different experience. For me, it was more bulking and building. It's I went from 44, 45 kg straight up to, in the first 2 weeks, nearly 50 odd kg. I think it was 54, my first proper win. That's insane in 2 weeks. And it wasn't body fat. It was toning, it was muscling, it was through it's through the training, the exercise, what you gave me to. First, I was training at home, and those exercises worked wonders for me, and it basically retuned my muscle. What I got out of it was mind blowing. I can't actually explain it how good I felt.
You did all that from home, right? You were training at home.
You gave a massive choice of food selection. It was chicken and rice and all the basic stuff what most bodybuilders build on. You gave us such a massive selection. And it works. The keto diet I still follow it. I follow. I think I'm gonna probably follow that for the rest of my life. It
Yeah.
is incredible. It gives
Good
me so
stuff,
much
innit?
energy.
Yep.
I don't even look at sugar.
Yep.
It's crazy. I love sugar, but I wouldn't even look at it anymore. It
Yeah.
just doesn't bother me.
Keto is very related to fat loss mainly, and then it's also it's the fasting. We even got you fasting.
Yeah, fasting. In the
Right.
end, I was doing 16 hours of non-eating, then 8
Yep.
hours eating schedule, which worked
Yep.
wonders for me.
Absolutely. And again, I don't want to dive into the science too much, but people aren't aware that if you don't eat for a period of time, what happens? You actually get hungry, don't you? Really hungry.
Don't
So
get
that
me hungry. I'm starving at the moment.
yeah,
And I can't
exactly.
eat yet. I've got to wait.
I love it. See, and this is where people think, hold on, if I'm not eating, something's not right. I'm trying to gain weight. It's like, yeah, but you put yourself a period of time of not eating to get yourself hungry. That's the key, because a lot of people are sticking to that 6 meal a day chicken and rice thing and not going anywhere.
I've started to see my 8-pack, which I was very shocked about. Now it is, my 8-pack is very prominent now. It's getting a lot better. The training, especially the exercising you gave me, and with the food, can't.
Obviously, we had that personalized supplement plan as well. I don't think you're taking any pills before, any supplements.
No, I was taking 0. I'm now rattling like a rattle cage at the moment with all the stuff, but it works wonders. It's incredible.
Anyone out there maybe watching you'd actually recommend for this program?
If anyone's struggling in life, anyone, it doesn't matter if you're big, small, fat, it doesn't matter. Training program is good for everyone, and I would recommend it. I'm not say it. He's not told me to say it or anything. And to be honest, this has changed my life. I was in a dark place where I'll be honest, I was suicidal. And this man here saved me.
Thank you, man.
And people need to know that. And to be honest, this has changed my life for good.
Yeah, obviously, when I said you're in a dark place, that's what I meant at the beginning. I didn't want to just blurt that out, but
no, it's not your place to say. And I totally
and I really, appreciate you being honest, man. People out there are in hard places at the moment. It's amazing what training can do for your mindset and your mental health.
God, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I've come like I was on very high doses, pills which I was taking for my depression. I'm off them now. I'm clean off them. I don't need them.
Love it. I love my job. This is the best part of my job. I love it. I actually love it when I've made that kind of impact in your lifestyle and other people's, man.
Thank you. You have no idea what you've done. And to be honest, you need to get more recognition of what you actually do, because you do actually change people's lives.
I'm looking for kind of like a salvation of my health, basically. You can tell whether somebody is, faffing about or whether someone's actually legitimately trying to help me. And I thought, you know what, this place could potentially add value to my life. When I joined the academy, I was a bloated balloon, and abstaining from sugar completely aided in helping me with reducing the inflammation of my gut and bringing it down to a level where I could be comfortable, not only by movement, but also just general well-being, just being like, just feeling good about myself. I saw major changes in my body. I'm active when it comes to sparring, and lasting long in the ring as well. The fatigue went, I had some arthritic tendencies and whatnot, so it's been causing me a lot of issues. But since I've abstained from those kind of things, it has helped a lot.
What was the program, man?
To be honest, I think it's the coaching calls mainly, because the coaching call helps and aids us with 2 things: motivation and accountability. I can speak for myself as my experience being on the keto, intermittent fasting, abstinence from carbs and sugar. I've seen the difference. I've felt the difference. So there's no brainer. I would suggest for particularly two types of people, mainly the elders, or especially from our backgrounds, but who are skeptical about these type of programs. And secondly, I would say the people that are skeptical about keto and intermittent fasting as a whole.